Hello again, everybody. My name's Andrew. For those of you that have never met me, I'd just like to thank everybody that's subscribed so far. Thank you very much, and if you haven't already, please do for more videos. In this tutorial, we're going to talk about moving your WordPress website from your local host, WAMP, onto a live server. Or from a live server to another live server if you're changing domains and you just want to move your site. So let's get started. There's lots of different ways that we can do this. I found that this is the best way because you can get a lot of errors with the site. So what we've got here is we've got a site for a client and we've got it hosted on one live server. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the site from one live server to another live server, and the same will apply if you're in local host. So if you refer to a previous tutorial that I did, which was installing WAMP server, you'd find that we go to computer, C drive, we go into WAMP, www, and you'd find your site. And this is what we're going to take. This is what you will be taking. So in your case, if you're on localhost and you're in your WAMP, it will be you need to log in. So you go to localhost / whatever your site name is, and actually log in to WordPress. So this is what I'm going to do. Let's just pretend we're on a localhost, although I'm on a live server. So we need to log in. And we're inside. We can browse around and look at the site from here. The reason I've chosen this particular site is because if we go, the menu's all set up. It's an e-commerce site. We've got lots of taxonomies in here. If you don't know what they are, they're basically, it's filtering through. You can put all the dimensions in it. It will come up with a site, a page where you can add more details. It's a very good setup. We've got other pages, the laminates. We've got drop-down menus here. The About Us page has got a video in it. The contact page, the login, log out. So it's a very in-depth site. I just want to show you and prove to you that, however complicated your site is, you can do it. So you've logged into WordPress. We're going to go into the dashboard, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into plugins and we're going to install a plugin. Don't ever think that you can use the import export function in WordPress to move a site. It will break, guaranteed. It's called Duplicator. So do a search for the plugin, and there it is, WordPress Duplicator. Very good, works very well. So we'll install it. Should only take a minute. Okay, and activate the plugin. Okay, now before I do anything, I'm actually going to get rid of some of the stuff that I've got files wise in here, because I might get confused. So just bear with me a second and get rid of that one as well. Okay, because I want somewhere to store them locally. So okay, so now we've got that installed, you'll see in the right hand column at the bottom we've got Duplicator. So if we click on that, okay, and this is the new version. So I suggest you get the new, if you haven't got the new version, get the new one, which is up to date. What we need to do is go to create new, and we're going to create a package. I'm going to call it leave engineering, and there's some sections here of the archive, whether it's going to be a zip, and the installer path at the bottom. You can, if you want, put your new server database, username, etc. in here, but we're going to leave that. We can do that in another section. So now we're going to come down to the bottom. We're just going to hit next, and it's going to scan the site. Okay, and here we've got some warnings. You can go through these. Sometimes you can ignore them. Now if you do get problems, you may need to go into some of these and just have a look. It's very, very thorough. We can see there's a known issue with the PHP INI file. The cache data has got a warning on it because I use cache plugins. In the cache, you need to empty your cache, it's too big. You may get total size warning because of the size of the actual site. A lot of the time you can generally get away with, well, we'll see with this particular site, because say it's a large site, it's pretty large. Anyway, so we'll go down to the bottom and we'll click build, and it's building a package for us. It shouldn't take too long. Okay, so the package is completed, and what we need to do is download these. So the installer file, it's been downloaded. I'm going to take straight away to it. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to put it where I know, where I can remember. Okay. Back in, and we'll need to get the archive file, which is only 30 megabytes. That'll take a moment or two to download. Almost done. Okay, that's downloading it again. Don't need it to be downloaded again. Cancel it. Let's come up with could be dangerous, but I'm going to ignore that. I'm going to keep it. Oops, got a dodgy mouse at the moment. I need to get a new mouse. It keeps double clicking on me. So let's cut that, and let's put that over in here as well. So we've got those two files ready to go. So what we need to do now is we've finished with this now, so we can come out, we can sign out. We don't need to be in there anymore. That's either your local host or your live server that you were on. Now what we need to do is we need to go to the new server. Just bear in mind, this is a quick you need to make sure that before you do all this that you've got all your DNS settings correct. Your name servers pointing to your new server. In this case I've got Nottingham Kitchen Fitting Courses, which is where I'm going to put this. I'm in a domain, and they're pointing to my server's own DNS records. So whether you're with Namecheap or Bluehost or GoDaddy, just go in and double check that they're done. Obviously allow for them to propagate. Could be anything up to 48 hours. Generally doesn't take that long. But just to let you know, you must have your DNS set up, because it's just not going to work. Okay, so now I'm in my server and I use Plesk. You could be using cPanel. If you're on shared hosting, it could be their own brand panel, but they're generally all the same. Okay, so what I've done is I've set I've set up the root for this website, which is kitchen fitting courses. So we're going to go into the root folder, which is empty, there's nothing in there. In actual fact, if we type kitchen fitting courses in, get rid of the admin, just go to the site, there's nothing, it's forbidden, but there is access to the server. So come out of that just to show you. So what we need to do is we need to take those two files and put them in here. So I'm going to click on new file, I'm going to choose. You could, depending on how you are set up, you could FTP them up. It's entirely up to you. Okay, so I'm going to click on the installer file that we downloaded, install that, and then choose another file, and we will then find the archive file, and we'll upload that. No modify, no nothing, and that will upload, which is going to take a little while by the looks of it. Yeah, so I think what I'll do, I'll pause the video a second and we'll come back and carry on. Okay, so that's uploaded now. So we've got these two files in the root of the new server for this particular website. Now what we need to do now is open a new browser and type in the domain. And it's installer. So it's your domain installer.php, which is that file, and it's come up with the installer, and we have got database information here. And what we need to do is, for the local host, you could leave it localhost, it should be fine. I'm actually going to do something just to show you that there would be an error. Some of my sites come up, I have to put a port, so I'm just going to do that. Now the user, we need to create the database. So I need to go back on myself. I've been a bit silly here. Before we do that, let's actually come out of that. One thing I did forget, silly me. Okay, we need to create a database on the new server. So we've got a database, and the database name I'm going to call, remember this, write it down, I will call it _9. Okay, and then we need to add a database username. The same sort of thing applies as in cPanel. You create the database, then you add the username and the password. So we will call this _2, and you want a password. Okay, so that's that done. Okay, let's just double check that we've got that database there. Okay, so there it is, look, WordPress 9. Now we can go in to a browser and do the same as we did. Kitchen fitting courses, your domain, installer.php. Okay, the action, we're going to create new. We don't need to remove all tables. Localhost, leave it localhost. I actually said that I'm deliberately going to break it. Okay, so the username was WordPress _ 2 password, and the database name was WordPress _ 9, and luckily we can test the connection, which is a great feature. It's attempting to connect, and it's attempting to connect, and it will keep attempting to connect, and it will fail. If it's taking this long, chances are it's going to fail, so I'm just going to close it, and I'm going to get rid of that, and then I'm going to test it again, and it's found it straight away. That's the thing, if it starts to lag, you know that there's more than likely there's something not right. Okay, so we've done that. We can go into advanced options if we feel as though we need to. We can enforce SSL, secure socket layer. We can keep the cache enabled. We can change the char set, but we don't really need to do any of that. Straightforward. Okay, so when we're happy with that, click and run deployment. It's going to come up with a warning, blah blah blah. Just click it, and it's processing the files and the database. And there we've got it. It's come up. You see, we've got the old URL, which is the old address. In your case, if your local hosting are in WAMP, that will say localhost / whatever folder it was in on your hard drive, and the path. And it's put the new URL in for us, so it's changed all the information. It's changing all the paths in the database to all the new paths. Okay, so we could, if we wanted to, we could add a new username, new admin account. We don't need to do that because it's going to bring over your username from your local host site. We can look at advanced options. We can look at the tables. We can see what active plugins we've got. If you have problems with some of the plugins, you can deactivate them. But everything looks fine. And let's run update. Okay, so important final steps. Install report. There's no errors, so we don't need to do that. Okay, now we'll go to save permalinks. We'll see what happens here. So here we've come in, it's gone straight into the permalink settings of the site. We'll scroll down and just save the settings. Okay, and then at the top we've got reserved duplicator installed, still existed in root directory. Remove the files now, so we'll do that. Okay, I'm not too worried about this. It doesn't seem to create any problems at all. So we've done that, and you notice as well it's also on the new installation, it's installed Duplicator, so if you wanted to move it from here to somewhere else, it's all there. Okay, so let's just go and look at the site, and there we have it. Everything has come in exactly as it should be. It's brought the backgrounds in, it's brought all your images in. Not a problem at all. It's brought all my taxonomies in. I can go and look at the more details. It's brought everything in as it should, with all these drop downs. Copied it 100% over, and it doesn't look like there's any problems. Just going to have a look at the blog. Check it's brought all this information in, put all the photos in. The About Us page, it's brought the video in, all the images in, all the login information, the checkout, everything. So that is it. Now you've moved that site over, and it's as simple as that. It really is. So I'm going to go back into the dashboard, and it's fine. Everything is coming. Now, I've tried hundreds of different ways of doing this. I've done the old methods where you copy the database over, import, export functions, and everything seems to break. So I wouldn't bother doing it. It really isn't worth it. Just use the Duplicator plugin, and you should have no problems whatsoever moving your site over, because it's the database is helping you out. It's correcting all the paths for you. It's bringing your images over the database, all your media files. If you go into media library, it's got everything. No, it's brought the whole site. It's basically cloned the whole thing, duplicated it. So I hope this has been of some help. There's just a couple of other things that I wanted to mention. There's a couple of sites that I wanted to show you. You'll see the links in the bottom of the description for this video. This is a great site, and as you can see in Forest Theme, you've got site templates and themes from $3, and there's so much WordPress. There's literally hundreds and hundreds of themes ranging from e-commerce. There's some amazing plugins, some absolutely amazing ones. It's just unbelievable. It's a massive website, and if you don't know of it, I highly recommend you click on the link in the bottom, as it's really good. You've got e-commerce even, you know, it's audio jungle. You can flick through, you can get 3D images, you can get graphics. It's just massive. And theme forest, which is the main one, you can get PSDs. Oh, it's just like, look at all this, it's amazing. So I'd recommend that you go to there. The other thing I ought to mention is I'll also put another link below this one in the video. Is the site that has been built here, okay, that I've built for a client, is a really good template site. So just click the link in the bottom, and you'll go to this site. No, it's not. It's sorry, just bear with me a second. It's I would say that this is probably a really good site for templates. It's all a lot of e-commerce, and it's all responsive, so it all runs on whatever you've got, whether you've got an iPad, you know, mobile phone. And they do responsive directory themes. They do a coupon theme, real estate, video sharing if you want to set up like a YouTube video style. There's responsive classified. There's the shopping cart, which is the one I've built from. Responsive auctions, music, price comparison, which is very popular nowadays if you wanted to do that. Dating agencies, job markets, and they do some great offers. So do click on the link below and feel free to browse through the site. They've got I'm actually logged in, so I could just quickly show you this actually. There's forum. It's a massive forum with everything, the knowledge base. There's hundreds of video tutorials on how to use the themes. They do take some getting used to, but once you've done it, you can build and populate websites like, you know, amazingly. So I highly recommend this. Just click the link below, and please do subscribe. And I hope the video has been helpful to you. Remember, we've moved this site from one server to the other. The same thing would apply to the WAMP server, so I hope it's been of some help. Please subscribe. Okay, I'll be putting some more videos up very soon. Okay, thank you very much.